The Professors is brought to you by Blackborder.com. They've got everything from pro player articles, competitive prices, podcasts, Pro Tour coverage, videos, and even a point system that rewards you for just posting on the site. We've got new members joining every day, new features being added and updated, so go check out Blackborder.com today. Recently, I had a dream about the zombie apocalypse. Presently, I was being chased by the Zombie Horde to the tune of Thriller. As I danced away and knew I had no chance to escape, the whole world started illuminating, and I questioned in my mind, Wrath of God? A voice said, no! Day of Judgment.
Because I love the unknown, I love the unknown. He said he loves the unknown. Because I love the unknown, I love the unknown. He said he loves the unknown.
Hello everybody and welcome back. This week I'm here to correct an error from last week, but primarily to talk about the metagame, what you should play, and a standalone complete Zendikar spoiler, along with new art for a few cards, new speculation, and almost completed spoiler for a new planeswalker, and more. So let's draw.
Well then how will you know where to get off? And he said the place with the most allure.
From last week, I'd like to clarify that the name of the creature in Stampeding Rhino's flavor text was Sauron, not Sorin, and is not in fact a dark planeswalker, but a Rock's Pikemaster, as stated, who I had presumed would become a planeswalker. However, that does bring us to a spoiler being slowly revealed to us, Sorin Markov. So far, we've got the name, of course, the mana cost, the art, the first ability which reads, Sorin Markov deals 2 damage to target creature or player and you gain 2 life for +2 loyalty. The third ability which says, you control target player's next turn, and a number of loyalty counters that it comes into play, or enters the battlefield with, which is 4. Right now we're missing first, the rarity, which you can expect to be mythic unless Wizards comes out with a super ultra mega ghost parallel gold secret rare or something like that, although the possibility of the card being just rare seems fine too, if not for what appears to be relatively low playability at 6 mana with waiting 3 turns until you can crack the ultimate, and even then the ultimate just becoming a Mindslaver doing what a Silence and a Fog can do on turn 2. Second, we're missing the artist, which, sorry, but I don't really care about who actually did the art. I appreciate the art for the game and think the artist will, of course, deserve their pay and their name on the card once it's out, but for now we just want to see the second ability. Obviously we know it's a minus ability. My guess would be something like this. -3, the next time a creature is sent to a graveyard from the battlefield, put that creature onto the battlefield under your control. This flavorfully plays out to Black's style and is one of the only abilities I can imagine being not totally unfair with the rest of the card and at 6 mana, but like all planeswalkers were meant to do, creates more complex choices and situations in the game and even some synergy, but by no means a broken synergy with Sauron's first ability. Also, before we close up the section, I just gotta point out the art for the 4 cards spoiled at Gen Con. Assuming this will be the same art as is in Zendikar, but note the symbol says they're from Plane Chase, we can deduce a little bit about Zendikar from a card here, specifically Beast Hunt. While Whiplash Trap appears to be the land coming to life from a mana eruption, that's cool and all, but it's interesting to note that for green in Zendikar, it appears that the reference to Pillarfield Oxen and the beasts with circling clouds in the background of the card art suggests that these bigger creatures are nomadic and go wherever the mana eruptions are. As such, it appears that they'll get bonuses for things involving mana like Osei lands and like Osei rampaging Baloths. On to our next topic. Oh wait, did I forget something? Of course, Day of Judgment. What is this card, you ask? Why, it's the new Wrath of God, I exclaim. Well, okay, it's not exactly the new Wrath, as it takes away the regeneration clause, and now you've got to spend an extra $60 for your playset, but I expect we'll be seeing alterations of Judgment Day and planar cleansing in MXs for a long time. As pointed out by many a pro, Wrath being gone was a huge deal, even though it didn't seem good enough when 5-color had Firespout and Volcanic Fallout and green-white tokens had Dauntless Escorts. Overall, you will now go back to building a deck with Wrath in mind, and the regeneration clause was, of course, most likely done for the new player purposes.
I love the unknown, he said he loves the unknown.
As for Standard, it looks like blue-white decks are making it to the top everywhere, as well as a good 3 dozen different decks. And while Merfolk isn't doing as well as I'd hope next to the regular Revelark-based or Baneslayer-based blue-white control decks, that doesn't mean it doesn't have the potential, and I'm guessing it may just have to do with the fact that not enough people were just playing the deck. While I unfortunately won't be able to get to a PTQ anytime this season, I've been testing plenty of games with the deck online, and it has just a fine showing. That said, the Baneslayer decks are fantastic in the format, and if you're a good enough player and a little lucky, can have a fantastic showing versus any matchup, with the exception of ones slightly too fast for it, or ones that have even more card advantage. Speaking of which, a deck that had a plenty easy time versing the tier 1 Merfolk, Kithkin, 5-color, and okay, well, he lost the Time Thief combo, but anyway, point is Nick Des Marais, the deck designer of the original Cascade Genesis extended deck that wins on turn 1 or 2, and is a local friend, has come along and put his own twist on 5-color control. Nick pointed out that while he placed 12th in a 250-person PTQ, and that was just fine and dandy, he donked up all 3 game 3s, and if he hadn't donked one of those, would have gotten into top 8 and had perfect matchups. However, while Nick didn't win the PTQ, this deck is still notable and is certainly tier 1. You start out by seeing the regular 26 land suite. 4 Kitchen Finks, a Broodmate Dragon, Jace, Cryptic Commands, and Esper Charms. But the deck starts differing here with 4 Bloodbraid Elves, only 2 Path Exiles, and 3 Volcanic Fallouts, but 2 Maelstrom Pulses and 2 Vendilion Cliques. Nick also traded out the Broken Ambitions for Bituminous Blast. Overall, the main deck is such a card advantage machine and has the aspects of 5-color Control's ability to win out the long game, but 5-color Blood's ability to win out the mid game and stall from short to middle or middle to long. But the biggest notable difference with this deck is the sideboard. What you would have expected are the Runed Halos, Puppeteer Cliques, and Anathemancer. But Hollowed Burial being pushed to the sideboard allows for a better mid-game tempo, and Blightning is essentially a better identity crisis in the deck versus so many matchups that rely on, say, combo pieces, or bigger, heavier hitters. Overall, I, for one, am impressed and wish Nick luck in the next PTQ coming up this weekend. We'll detail how he does, and, of course, all the Zendikar spoilers and more next time. But until then, this is Anthony Palmario. Tapped out for now, but we'll untap soon.
He said he loves the unknown.